Hey guys.
Hi everyone. Welcome back to Paradise on Pennies. I'm Heather.
And I'm Ramsey.
And if you're new to the channel, we have been, well, we're full-time living on the road. We sort of have a non-traditional lifestyle, kind of retire early, I guess. What that means is we actually take small jobs and stretch our budget so that we can have more free time to do what we love, stay on the road, explore, learn, things of that nature. So we've actually been living in a Ford Escape, a little SUV, for about 2 years, and we recently had to make a change to a new vehicle. And since we planned on staying on the road, we had to think about what that would be, and we actually have chosen a truck camper. So this baby, which we refer to as kind of a little mansion, for us at least, this is quite new to us, so we're still getting used to it. And we just kind of found one that needed a little TLC so that, of course, we could save some money on getting it and just put the work into it. We're always willing to put the work into it if we can save money. And so today we wanted to show you guys a little before and after to give you an idea of the type of work that we've done. Just a couple of small projects to get it to just the homey level for us to live in it, hopefully for a really long time. So here we go. Let's show you what we've done.
Alright guys, so first thing we did was remove the heater. We've never really had an issue with staying warm with the dogs and everything. We can all cuddle together. So we decided we were just going to remove that altogether. So we removed that, which saving us space and weight as well. The heater was not gigantic, but it did weigh a decent amount. It also ran on propane, which we weren't going to be using that much anyways, but it's just one less thing. So then, along with that, the only other thing that ran on propane in the camper was the stove that came with it. And it was old and kind of deteriorated, so we didn't really want to have to mess with it if something broke down. And we planned on bringing our own little camp stove with us anyways, so we decided to remove that as well, which also gained us a ton more room. So we made a board and just kind of painted our logo on top of it and made that kind of so it's more flat countertop, and then underneath it is just a lot of extra storage space. So we gained a lot of room from just removing the stove and the heater. And before, the only way that you could get to that storage space underneath it was this little door. So then along with that, since now nothing ran on propane, we decided to remove the propane tank as well. And then pretty much most of the hoses that ran underneath, we removed those just so they were out of the way, so more space for storage. We also removed the water tank from underneath one of our benches. It was a 20-gallon water tank, so it did take up a lot of room, and it also had some damage on it as well, so we just removed it completely. We usually only bring a couple gallons with us in the first place, because we usually filter everywhere we go, so we don't need to be wasting space, and especially if it's not going to work in the first place. So that gained us a lot more space underneath as well. So one other thing we did, after about probably a week of having the camper, we realized that there was storage underneath the bed. We were laying on the bed and we realized it was kind of squeaky. So I was thinking there had to be some kind of something sturdy underneath it to support you, and it turns out it folded up and there was storage unit or a storage space underneath it, which we definitely didn't need because we gained so much other storage space from taking the stove and the heater out as well as the water tank that we definitely weren't going to use it, and it seemed kind of in a weird place to put storage anyway, so if you're going to put a bed on it, I don't think you'd want to lift it up every day to get something out of it. So we actually removed the studs on it as well as the hardware, which took out a lot of weight, and we kind of built our own back into it just so we could gain some height. So when our bed is in there, we actually gained about 3 more inches of height from sitting down a little bit lower, which has been fantastic.
As you can see, this is what the camper interior looked like. It had a few scrapes and dings on the interior surfaces, and it had a bit of a musty smell. So we decided it would be a good idea to put a fresh coat of paint inside. We are going to paint this whole thing from this brown wood look. to kind of a blue-gray tone. So we'll see what it looks like when we're done. All right, so here it is with its new fresh coat of paint. We just used a cheap paint, but we think it still came out pretty good. And I got a little creative along the way and decided to put these bears, and there's also a moose and a wolf around here too. Just made a nice little homey touch. And as a final touch, the curtains, there were some curtains in the camper actually already, but they were pretty gross. They were holding a lot of the stench in, and they were dirty. So we decided we definitely needed to replace those. And so we decided to, we looked for the coolest material we could find that was cheap, and we found this stuff, and it was actually quite perfect. And we just threw together some quick curtains, and it tied everything together nicely. So there you have it. There's the finished product after all our work. It's going to make a great home for a long time. And stay tuned, because next up, the next video will be a little inside tour. We'll show you what it's like living in this new camper home.